Good evening, Dundee. My name's Peggy Hughes and I'm a pogonophile. Does everybody know what a pogonophile is? Confused? It's from the Greek for beard, pogono, and phile, philia, for study of, love of, some would say abnormal obsession with. I'm not saying that. If you are a pogonophobe, I would say leave now, save yourselves, health and safety. Walt Disney was a famous pogonophobe. So famous, actually, that the Disney company only allowed employees to have beards in 2012. That's bonkers, but these guys snuck in somehow. I don't know. They were allowed. So yeah, save yourselves, because we're only going to get deeper and deeper into the face forest. This is just a little visual depiction of some beards. They come in all sorts of stripes and denominations. They're basically as old as the hills beards, or at least as old as the Bible or Egyptians. We're moving from the quite ancient beards down to the maybe more Victorian philosopher beard. Of course, philosophers take their beards very seriously. It just seemed remiss not to have Brian Blessed, who I think for many of us is probably the universal symbol of the beard, or at least as close as it gets to Santa. A lot of kind of beard imagery revolves around virility, jolliness, manliness. Brian Blessed's really quite manly, I think, but actually they're not just the preserve of men. Obviously, this is a Saint Wilgefortis, who's the patron saint of unhappy marriages. She was so unhappy to be betrothed to her betrothed that she prayed to God to disfigure her, and he did so with a beard. So beards, not just for men. Beards also, not just made of hair. Sometimes beards can be made of bees. This, I think we'll all agree, ingenious idea was struck upon by a Ukrainian beekeeper in 1830. And the idea is to strap the queen in a little box under the chin, and all the hive bees come upon it. The Guinness Book of World Records is 350,000 bees. That's 87 pounds of bee. This is Abe Lincoln, a trailblazer in many ways, but also for having been the first president to have a beard. One of his constituents wrote to him and said, "I think your face is rather thin." So he grew a beard to thicken it out. So beards, also the sort of thickening agent of the male grooming preserve. Beards in the media. Here we have Jeremy Paxam, of course, who famously grew a beard quite recently on his holidays and came back, and within minutes of this on Newsnight, he was trending. He had a Twitter account for his beard, Paxman's beard. His response was that he thought the BBC were quite pogonophobic. Mary Beard, another great beard in the media. Who loves Mary? Come on, I love Mary. Mary, for those that don't know, is a classicist, a broadcaster, a talking head. She's doing great things for the rights of women in the media and in all sorts of different ways. So all hail Dame Mary of Beard. This is Herman Melville. So Herman Melville, famous for writing Moby Dick. He also wrote a book called White Jacket, and in White Jacket managed to use 25 different words for beard in 2 chapters. I'm just going to read you some of them. I've got a little list. Suburbs of the chin. Fly brushes, love curls, carroty bunches. I could go on, but I won't. Here's Sarwan Singh. Sarwan Singh, also a beard of the media. He is the Guinness Book of World Record holder for the world's longest beard. Look at that. I think we're right when we talk about nodding harvests or viney locks. This is 7 foot 9 inches of beard. He looks happy, huh? I'd be happy. Look at that. We'll just keep looking. This is Walt Whitman. Any Breaking Bad fans in the house? Famous from Breaking Bad? No, he's a famous poet, Walt Whitman, and I mention him because there's a fabulous pogonologist, so one step beyond me, a studier of beards and the lore of whisker, called Upton Uxbridge Underwood, who wrote a book, among many other books about beards, about the beard ranking poetically of beards. So he basically combines an intangible force, which is the poetic gravity of the beard, and he adds that to the beard weight, and he comes up with a score somewhere between 0 and 60. So that's Alfred Lord Tennyson, who was ranked in Underwood's great system. I thought, because my thing's books, I would move into kind of, poets and so on, but also some beards in literature that I especially admire. This is Mr. Twit, of Roald Dahl's seminal The Twits. He was a trollish man, and I quote, who had hair covering everything except for his eyes, nose and forehead, and he hid things in his beard, much like this chap, who is Edward Leard's old man with a beard. There was an old man with a beard who said, "It is just as I feared, 2 owls and a wren, 4 larks and a hen have all laid their nests in my beard." So there we go, things hidden in beards. I don't know, it's a literature thing, I think, a bookie thing. This is Edward Lear himself. That's just to show you that he knows his beard onions. Look at that. That's a little self-portrait of Edward Lear, who in many ways had a very sad life. We can talk about that at the break if anyone wants to know. I mean, his poetry, my word, it's comic, but breaks your heart, really. So Edward Lear. So for this one, I'm just going to let you look at that. That's Edward Gorey, another brilliant and famous beard of literature. Anyone know Edward Gorey? He wrote lots of funny little tales, mostly of disasters happening to children. But I just think that's a lesson in maybe how to accessorise the beard more than anything. Oh yeah, beards, I think sometimes US television would lead us to believe that beards are for losers. Jack Shepherd, down and out, you know, he was the hero of Lost. If any fans of Lost in? Some? It's Breaking Bad now, really. But yeah, so then he suddenly grows a beard and he's a down and out and he can't shave and stuff. But you know, I believe beards are for winners. Look at this guy. This is Elmar Weiser, right? So he is the world beard and moustache champion, freestyle beard. I'll tell you what that is. That is the Norwegian flag in his beard. And a little deer. This guy has his own chant. It's Wir wollen sehen Elmar. They sing to, this is heroic beard styling. So, in short, aren't beards great? By the way, I should also say, I've got some free moustaches. I just couldn't work out how to work them into the talk, so if anyone wants to make friends, have a free moustache, I'll leave you with John and Yoko. Thank you.